The Artemis space program has failed so far, not because she earned 75 cents to every Apollo's dollar, but because every time she tries to take one small step for man, Apollo's lies keep catching up on her. They say we are going back to the moon again, this time with billion-dollar rockets, cutting-edge AI, and blessings of Artemis, the Greek goddess of the moon and twin sister of Apollo. But as we speak, NASA's Artemis program is delayed, over budget, and very much stuck on Earth. Let's talk about Artemis for a second. Artemis is the most ambitious, expensive, overhyped, and possibly the most revealing mission NASA has undertaken in decades. It's supposed to mark our glorious return to the moon, but instead it's exposing cracks, not just in the rockets, but in the story we've been told for 50 years. Artemis isn't just about footprints and flags. According to NASA, it's about establishing a permanent presence on and around the moon and using that as a stepping stone to Mars. Artemis I was an unmanned test flight around the moon that was completed in 2020. Artemis II was supposed to be a manned flyby of the moon in November 2024, but it was moved to September 2025 and then again delayed to April 2026. Artemis III will be the first human lunar landing since 1972, and it has been delayed from mid-2026 to mid-2027 at the earliest. Beyond that, Artemis aims to land the first woman and the first person of color on the moon, target the lunar South Pole untouched by the imaginary Apollo missions, build a moon base and lunar gateway space station in lunar orbit, test technology for Mars missions, including habitats, radiation shielding, life support, and more. Artemis is not just a mission, it's a blueprint for interplanetary civilization if it actually takes off. Since Artemis launched, not the rocket, just the idea, NASA has spent $40 billion, and this is expected to hit $93 billion by 2025. Each Artemis launch cost more than $4.1 billion. NASA called the program Artemis, the moon goddess and twin sister of Apollo. Symbolic, feminist, and inclusive. Apollo allegedly landed humans 6 times in 3 years. Artemis, with modern tech and billions in funding, can't even get off the ground properly. So what does that make her? The dumber twin? Or perhaps the one finally doing it for real? Artemis I was uncrewed and cost over $4 billion. It was scheduled for 2016 but launched in November 2022, 6 years later, because of issues with SLS malfunctions, vibration problems, software glitches. Artemis II will be crewed flyby, but it was moved from 2023 to 2024 to now 2026. NASA said delays were due to issues with the Orion Heat Shield AVCOAT, life support and abort systems, insulation and system integration problems.
Times in space, delays are agonizing and slowing down is agonizing.
The root cause of a problem that emerged during Artemis I. The empty Orion capsule returned with a crack in its heat shield. Engineers only recently pinpointed heat damage, which happened during re-entry into the atmosphere. So NASA has decided to adjust its return path. That change in direction means delays.
The Orion spacecraft uses AVCOAT, the same ablative material used in Apollo capsules, designed to burn away during re-entry, protecting from 5,000 Fahrenheit of heat. Apollo used it without incident. But Artemis I in 2022 revealed unexpected erosion and cracking, and over 1,000 charred, flaked, and underperforming sections. NASA claimed this was caused by gas expansion from new manufacturing methods not present in Apollo-era capsules. Funny how a heat shield that worked flawlessly in 1969 is suddenly unpredictable today. Artemis III is the lunar landing. It was once targeted for 2025. Now it's been moved to 2027, maybe even later. Delays include Starship lunar lander still untested, Axiom spacesuit behind schedule, Gateway station not ready, launch pad and software integration issues. At this point, delay is less a setback and more of a pattern. Is Artemis still on track? Not really. NASA still says Artemis III will land by 2027, but behind the scenes, no one is betting on it. The mission has moved from historic return to capability test. It's not a countdown, it's a moving goalpost. If Apollo did it, why can't Artemis? This is the uncomfortable question for many moon landing enthusiasts who deliberately choose to suspend their disbelief. If humanity landed on the moon in the 1960s, why is it this hard to do it again? Why does Artemis take a decade plus, billions in funding, reworking of proven materials, and redesigns of systems that supposedly worked before? Why does it feel like the first time? You don't struggle to redo something you've already mastered unless you never really mastered it at all. Artemis was envisioned as the symbol of our return. Instead, every delay chips away at that image. Artemis isn't failing to live up to Apollo. She's quietly revealing that Apollo may have been just a story. Maybe she isn't the dumber twin. Maybe she's the first one actually trying to do it for real. Thanks for listening. If you're tired of bedtime space tales and want to dive into what's really happening above our heads, hit follow, share, and stay tuned. Artemis may be NASA's moon goddess, but so far she's still stuck in her brother's shadow. Thank you.